Yeah. Hi Ben, how you doing? I'm doing good. I'm alive. That's good enough. Also, change of camera. Hang on, let me put on the bigger one. Change of camera, and I'm not sure whether I like it or not yet. Unsure. Mostly because I can't get the lighting right with how things are. But I got a new camera stand, and it actually now sits like
New
just above my
subscriber!
monitor.
Cool!
So hopefully it'll fucking stay there.
Hello.
Hi Manuke, how you doing? Thank you for the resub. 11 bloody months, Jesus.
Hear ye, bitches, for TNTRs is now in session.
Also, Vekai, how you doing? Here for more beacon points. We'll see where this goes in a minute. But yeah, trialing a new camera place. I can move it a bit more freely now because I've got a different stand for it. The issue being I can't fine-tune it as smoothly. Like, I would like it slightly more angled, like off to the side. But whenever I do that, it makes the room look like it's on the piss, and I can't correct it. And it means that I've got like game here, chat here, OBS here, a little bit more front on. Lighting is always going to have shadows on my face because I can't get the ring light behind the camera with my desk. Here's what it is. I did contemplate getting one of the stands that holds both camera and ring light, but they all look shit. They all look really fucking flimsy. This one looked pretty sturdy, but I just don't have the means to get the ring light behind the camera at the minute. That'll be a future change. Get another freaking arm that can move it behind the right place. I'm playing Peak & Pines as well. Like the game so far. It's been pretty good so far. We've got fairly far. We've got to chapter 4 or 5, then had to go back and start again. Because we ran out of words that would get us anywhere. It's cute and concerning. The hydrate. Cute and concerning. Shut the fuck up, music. Right. Also, I hope the microphone still sounds okay because it's off. It's further off to the side of me now, so that it's not blocking the monitor because the monitor is no longer as high as it used to be. Because there was a stand. I can't even turn the camera to show you the stand anymore. But there was a stand underneath the monitor that I play the game on, and the camera was to the side of the monitor. To put the camera where I have it now, which I prefer angular wise, I had to move the stand because otherwise it blocks the camera. And if I put the microphone where I normally have it, I can't see the fucking game. So yes, we are fully booked. We have planned. We're done. We've booked everything. We've got a little Airbnb apartment planned. Mark is considering. It depends on work and a few other things, so he might not be there. But there's a chance Mark might also be coming. He can just stay with us in the B&B. But there's a chance you'll also meet Mark. Again, not guarantee. Not a guarantee. He might not be there, but
Dinner with the Moodwills.
I don't remember. Oh, I know exactly where we are. So we did one run where we went to the warehouse by ourselves, and it ended there. We did another run where we went to the warehouse with Rolo, and Rolo disappeared. So this might be slightly spoilery for you, Manuka, if you haven't played as far as this. Not a long game, so if you've been playing it a bit, you might be ahead of where we are. Yeah, so we went to the warehouse at Rolo. Rolo got abducted. We think. It got confusing a little bit. I'm pretty sure he was abducted. And then the hyena guy lied that he'd gone home. Then we accidentally pushed the little bully thing. I don't even know what animal he's supposed to be. It's like a rabbit, rat thing. I don't fucking know. Little shitbag. The bully boy. We pushed him into a puddle of gunk. His face mutated. The red pandas and the hyena guy were after him, so he hid in our treehouse. We got cornered in the treehouse by them. That's pretty much where we got to, and then we had to go back again. So we've gone back to going to the warehouse by ourselves. Changed it so that we could get away. Did we go back that far, or did I do the other one? No, I did the other one, didn't I? I think. I changed how we met Bex. And in this run, we're going to dinner with Bex's family, which is where we start now. I can't remember whether we went back to the warehouse or if we went back to the next branch. I think it was the next branch. I think going back by ourselves to the thing was the next plan. for the next reset. Yeah, we're going to do this until we finish the story, and then any time at the end of the stream will be DBD Killer. But this could end up being the entire stream. We'll see. It depends how much faffing we do.
Ilona Moodwell was worried about change. A gardener at heart, she understood the necessity of change,
It's picking up
relied
sound,
on
isn't
it
it?
even. But there was a difference between the controlled world of her plants and this cluttered cottage in a strange town. Almost done. Nellie was a blur of activity, digging through boxes. Sorry, love.
The two
Couldn't find
parents,
the
aren't they?
dishes. We'll have to make do with paper plates.
So it's Nelly, Ilona, and Bex as the kid that we're friends with.
Dinner went by without much conversation.
Excuse me. Also, the cough has still not gone. It's been a week and a half since the cold, every other cold symptom disappeared. Still got a cough. Just have to deal with it.
As she watched Beck and Luca finish up their pizza, Ilona let herself relax into the chair. The things she cared about were still here. Nellie finally had the job of her dreams.
It was definitely just a cold, because it was only like a couple of days and it wasn't horrendous. It was just nasally, lightheaded, cough, sinus issues. Yeah. The usual cold stuff. It was definitely just a cold.
Beck was beginning to take root.
Well, some form of wintry bug anyway.
Ilona's task was simply to tend to them. She could do that.
Also the benefit of being in the middle of nowhere in a tiny town. If anyone has COVID in the area, we know about it and we can avoid them like the plague. But yeah, I'm 99% sure it was just a cold bug. I always have issues with coughs after cold bugs. So Luca, tell us a bit about yourself. There's also an issue that if this ends up being quite long, I may end up switching and we'll finish this another day, purely because we know at this point when there's a lot of talking in a short period of time, my throat just goes, nope, I've given up going to sleep. I'm going to ache like fuck, as it did last Sunday when we played. So, hold on, Thomas messaged. Message, but does not need a response, so you can feck off. So Luca, tell us a bit about yourself. Where do you live? In a house up the road. Live with my grandma. Over on the other side of the river. Grandma, where are your parents at? None of your business, bitch. See? Beck, manners. It's alright. My dad passed away in an accident at the fertilizer plant 6 years back, the foul harvest. Oh dear. My mum's been missing for a few months now. Missing?
Luca's eyes were fixed to his plate, pushing a chunk of pineapple around with his finger.
Which I think at this point we can safely assume that her missing is similar to what happened to Rolo in our previous run with the warehouse. Probably a similar thing. We'll find out at some point, I assume. Luca's eyes were fixed to his plate, pushing a chunk of pineapple around with his finger. Hey, don't waste the pineapple.
Nellie was the one who eventually broke the silence.
Pineapple on pizza! I like this family. Luca, how did you like the pizza? Oh, it was good. Very good. And so good he's crying. Definitely not about his mom at all. About pizza. Normally we'd have put more effort into
Ilona
dinner.
nervously gestured toward the boxes.
Pineapple on pizza is best. We aren't fully settled in and Beck had mentioned that it's your favourite. Sorry, are we just skipping the part where he said his mom was missing? Subtle. Tactful. Lovely. There. Sorry, Luca, this move has us all a little tired.
Luca wiped his face with his sleeve.
No, it's fine. So Beck said you moved here for work.
Beck gave Luca a swift kick under the table.
Yeah, so from what I remember, the last thing she said on the way into the house was don't talk about their work. But this bitch won't shut up about talking about our mother, so fuck you. I mean, what brought you to Beacon Pines? Oh, you were right the first time. We're here for work. Nellie won't tell you this, but she's a brilliant chemist. Don't know about brilliant, but I do love it. She's brilliant. Perennial Harvest just made her the newest lead researcher of deep engineering. Deep engineering doesn't scream chemist to me. Just saying. It makes it sound more impressive than it is. I'm just happy that I get to make a difference in the world. Perennial Harvest is at the forefront of evolving agriculture into something more useful than sprinkling water and excrement on the ground. I read that as just sprinkling water excrement, but... Huh? you saying that you just piss on the floor? I'm confused.
Luca glanced over to Beck. She seemed to be holding her breath.
What Nelly means, Luca, is that there are different ways to grow plants. Yes, some people talk to their plants and hope for the best. Some people happily leave their job to allow a loved one to pursue their dream. You swore you
Beck
didn't!
slammed her fist into the table.
Oh dear.
Perhaps harder than she intended.
Hey Luca, how about some dessert? Is there pineapple in it? I actually have to meet my friend Rolo soon.
Luca glanced outside to gauge the time. The sky was darker than he expected, filled with ominous clouds.
Looks like there's a storm brewing. How'd you get going? Oh, I didn't think there was any rain in the almanac. Yeah, almanacs aren't that useful around here.
Luca wiped his mouth one last time with his napkin and started to get
Almanac?
up.
Almanac? Weather forecast. Alright, my brain registered what almanac is, but then was like, weather? Huh? Yeah. Weather forecast. Newspaper weather forecast, essentially. Thank you all for the pizza. It really was good. Even if I didn't eat the fucking pineapple. See you at the festival, Beck. What was the result on that? We know about your unlucky coin. Although you haven't told us about it yet in this run. Wait up. I'll walk you home. Oh.
Surprised, Luca turned around. He knew Rolo could be prickly around new people.
What are you doing here already? Don't. What did you buy? Can't see from here. Crispy pancake. Have them. I will. Whipped at the door. Let him in, it's cold and windy. Anuke says hi. Anuke says hi. He says hi. You can see him, but you can't hear him because the microphone filters him out. Like, you could just see him chasing the cast then. Looks impressed. Jesus. Oh, where were we? Luke turned around and knew Rolo could be prickly around
But
new people.
Beck seemed cool. Rolo would warm up to her eventually. Probably.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to... I mean, I assume Rumble would be the storm is not quite there, but it's coming. Break is it's pissing down. So we'll go Rumble.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the
Or it
clouds
be one
above
equals
began to
thunder and lightning
rumble
storm, one
with
just equals rain.
ominous thunder.
We'll try this one though for this run. You sure we can make it home before this storm kicks off?
Luca surveyed the roiling clouds.
No, honestly. I'd say the odds are good. Maybe you should stay here and I'll just make a break for it.
At that moment, the heavens opened up, unleashing torrential rain.
Okay, so the rain broke regardless. That was a hell of a lot quicker than anticipated. Care to recalculate those odds? No. Hurry inside, you two, before you catch cold. Oh, that is not how you catch a cold, shut up. Bouquet of flowers is bugging me. Just on the floor with a note attached to it. And by the look of it, it was thrown on the floor because there's petals next to it. Guessing that was a apology kind of purchase and it didn't go down well. Luca and Nelly will keep trying to reach your gran on the phone. In the meantime, you two hold tight. I'd also like to point out that the parents are plant growing related and there's a little fucking dead plant. Clearly, Beck is not as plant. knowledgeable, whatever words. Sorry, not much to do up here. Most of my stuff is still in the boxes. Mind if I poke around? Be my guest.
Luca squinted into the eye hole of the microscope.
This looks wild. What is it? Gum. Gum?
Luca adjusted the slide with his fingers to get a better look.
I'm tracking the structural integrity of gum with increasing amounts of chewing. Chewed that one for 47 days.
Luca wiped his hand off on his sweater and gave a nervous laugh.
It's weird, I know.
Beck looked
Yes, it is.
down, timidly tapping the ladder with her feet.
You think it's weird, don't you? A little. A lot. But weird can be cool. Oh, wow. Rolo and I have a radio just like this at the treehouse. Probably not exactly like this one. My mum and I tore the whole thing down to the bolts. Fitted it with some state-of-the-art vacuum tubes. She seems pretty awesome. She gets carried away sometimes. I think she feels guilty for working too much, so I felt that. Like this one. Any difference? When she does have time for me, she showers me with high-tech overcompensation.
Luca flicked at one of the toggles.
And you can get all sorts of stations on this. Not out here in the boonies. You wouldn't believe the stuff I could pick up back in the city. Around here it's all farm reports and static. Wrong with farm reports?
Luca bent
What is
down
this?
to examine the bouquet of wilting flowers. Judging by the odor, they were well past their prime.
Oh,
He flipped open the attached card.
happy trails from Coach Walker and all the Fairview Condors. Boy, you weren't kidding about poking around, were you? Oh, sorry, was this from your old school? Ignore the fact you've just called me out for going through your shit a little bit too much. The most recent one, yeah. Some schools gave me going away cards with flowers. And they're really trying to feel good about themselves. They do both. But you've moved a lot. Yeah, that's the thing with having a brilliant parent. There's always a better job somewhere else. Fair. These flowers would last longer if you put them in some water. The sort of thing I would do if I cared. Fair. Fair enough. Well, you cared enough to keep them. Luca, can I ask you something? Of course. Alright with your Superman landing. Damn, did that hurt? Didn't that hurt? I'll be honest. That hurt more than I expected. Well, at least you looked cool doing it.
Beck took a moment to watch the rivulets of water running down the window.
Excuse me. Do you ever feel alone? Like, even when people are around? Well, Rolo can be pretty absent-minded sometimes. I'm serious. Does it ever feel like your family doesn't care what you want? It didn't used to feel that way. I know Gran loves me, but sometimes when she looks at me, it's like she's looking at a problem. Would she be wrong in that assessment, though? That's the question. Like, would she actually be wrong in that assessment?
Luca took a deep breath, exhaling slowly.
Know the feeling. How do you deal with that? I just thought I could probably put the... I'm not going to do it now, obviously, but I could probably move the monitor to the right a bit. Put it back on its stand and have the chat under the camera. I should be able to get the ring light into the middle. Might faff with that tomorrow before stream. I guess I haven't yet. But one thing my dad told me when I was little. Don't hold a grudge, especially against yourself. Try to hold it all in, you're going to pop. And what do you do when you don't know what to do? Dad never got to that part. Something I figured out on my own, though. Gotta do something. Anything. Here. Let's let the rain in and get everything wet. What are you doing? I don't know. Something. We're going to register our complaints with the storm. Oh. Listen here, you miserable universe. Stop jerking me around. I just want things to go back to the way they were. Everyone tells me it's going to be alright. Things are going to change.
Luca let out a feral scream that echoed into the night.
Every time something changes, everything gets worse. Through this town. Whoa. Let me try. Moving sucks. I hate it. I hate that I hate it. Why can't I just deal with it and be happy for my mom? Ugh. Why can't we just stay somewhere? Not doing that noise.
Dropped to a trembling whisper.
Just want to be a normal kid.
Beck brushed off her shirt and straightened up.
There. Also, I'm not, like, judging too much, but that window does not look like it's supposed to be able to open. It doesn't look like there's two bits. It looks like it's one solid pane. But wood in the middle is connected. That pisses. Minor thing. Just it bugs me. Literally the only thing I've seen that bugs me, though, to be fair. Which for me is bloody impressive. Wow, I actually feel a little better.
As it began, the storm abated.
Thanks, I needed that. Me too. I should head out before the rain starts up again. Sure, I'll walk you out. Now, are we going home or are we going to go see Rolo? Are you and Rolo at the festival? Sounds good. Luca, don't let the universe jerk you around.
Beck gave Luca a light thump on the arm before heading in.
So much for walking me home.
Chapter 5. Friendly Feud. The air was heavy with the hard rain's residue. The smell of wet things.
The smell of wet things. Ugh.
Despite his dreary surroundings, Luca felt at peace. He'd never shared those details about his dad with anyone, not even Rolo. But it's not like this changed anything. Rolo was still his best friend.
Friendly feud, so that's going to come up in conversation and Rolo's going to be pissed about it.
Adding Beck to the group would help balance things out. Everything's better in threes. This is what Luca told himself as he headed to the treehouse.
No treehouse. Excuse me. Oh, Dawn. Hey, Dawn, tracking down a lead? You bet. I heard a juicy new rumour. Turns out, when Sharper Valentine died, he left behind a peculiar last will and testament. Peculiar how? He didn't just give his kids an inheritance, there were conditions. See, I'd love to be that kind of person who has the, like, estate and the money to do that kind of thing. Like, I've got plenty of it, but you're going to work for it, bitch. Like, if you want that, here's some conditions or some freaking things that you've got to tick off before you're allowed it. Stuff like that. I'd love to be able to do that. Hang on. Amazon deliveries nearby. Like what? The document stipulated that Heiress had to take on a child as her ward, which explains the kid, Solomon. Thank you for the hydrate. Kid our age, who just showed up to town one night with a lawyer. Will you two behave yourselves? Pie's been here for 5 seconds and already the boxes on here are on the piss because he's nudged them. Straighten them before streams so they didn't look a mess. Nope. Solomon? Bingo. The heiress was forced to take care of him. Yup, or else she would have lost everything. Why would Sharper care so much about some random kid? Rumour has it, old Sharper sowed some wild oats. I was going to say, it's a bastard child, isn't it? That explains the way Heiress treats him. Or Solomon. How did you find all this out? A good reporter never reveals her source, Luca. I like Dawn. Dawn's probably my favourite character that we've met so far. I know we're supposed to be going the other way, but I kind of want to back and check things. Why are you still here, madam? He met his old friend's eyes. and was greeted with nothing but ice-cold anger. Heavens! No time for fractured friendships. Like, does she ever go home? She's supposed to be a teacher, but she's literally always on that bench reading a book. He's not going to let me go anywhere, is he? Oh. Oh. Excuse me, what are you doing? So in this timeline, they don't know that he's dodgy yet, or the Red Pandas. But we do. Just locking up for the night, sir. I can already feel my throat getting scratchy. What the fuck? I haven't spoke that much yet. I talk more than this when we're playing DBD and it doesn't bother my throat. How does this work? Oh, wonderful. I can only assume this means all festival preparations have been completed ahead of schedule. Not exactly, sir. The storm set us back a bit and it's getting late, so we all decided to... You all decided? Yes, sir. I was unaware that your job involved deciding things. We're all here at Perennial Harvest because we believe in creating a better future. Yes? Yes, sir. Very much so. You want to be the one to tell this town that we failed them? You need to calm your fucking tits, man. No. But we gave up because there was a little rainstorm and we all got sleepy? Of course not, sir. Good, then it's decided. Yes, sir, we'll work until the task is done. See that you do. Our harvest awaits. He's a piece of shit. He is a piece of shit. Hey, sleepy man left. Excuse me, go across the bridge, thank you. Do we have anything new for the fish? Pungent.
Luca wrapped a twig of thyme around the hook. Some fish have refined taste.
They have refined taste. Why would they be caught on fucking thyme? And there's the Amazon delivery. Ooh. Little pocket watch. Property of Sharper Valentine. Figures. If he had his way, property of Sharper Valentine would be written on everything in this town. If we give it back to him, he may not even want it back. The man's got a contentious relationship with time. We'll keep it here in case he ever wants to pick it up. Sure. Wait, where was the... Where did we do the flashback for the mom? Okay, figure it out. We'll find it another time. I don't remember where we tricked... Oh, it was in the diner, wasn't it? Rolo, you still up there? Danko? I remember what I actually ordered. Ah. What a crappy ass... Oh, it was the Guillotine. The card game I was playing yesterday. Literally. I did at board games yesterday, last night. Ordered it last night. Got it now. Cute little card game where you have to collect French nobles before they get beheaded. For points. Weird. Rolo, you still up there? I'm sorry, Rolo isn't accepting visitors at the moment. Come back never.
Luca had only ever heard him speak in this stiff yet gentle tone a few times, and it always meant one thing.
You're upset. Oh, what makes you say that? Maybe because my best friend abandoned me for no reason. I didn't abandon you. A little late.
Rolo scoffed.
The rain held me up. Liar! You weren't even home. What? The storm got bad and I got worried, so I went looking for you. Imagine my surprise when I make it to your house. You weren't there. I hadn't made it back yet. I'm not a fool, Luca. It doesn't take all day to deliver some jam. No, The storm rolled in out of nowhere, and I got stuck after dinner at Beck's.
Luca stumbled on his words, knowing he'd said too much.
Beck? Dinner? What the heck is a Beck? She's a new kid in town. She's actually kind of cool. You'd like her. You needed help convincing her parents that she'd made new friends. New friends? I spent all day waiting for you. And you were off making new friends? Not like that, Rolo. You know, while I was waiting, I made some upgrades to Mission Control. It was going to be a surprise. But you took so long, the storm knocked it all down. Just like you knocked down our friendship. What does that even mean? Fucking hell, Rolo, you're being very dramatic for no real reason here.
Luca became instinctively angry in response. Both boys were now shouting across the distance.
It means you're a bad friend. You don't care about me. Of course I care, you ass. I knew I'd get in trouble waiting so late for you, but I kept my word. That's what friends do. Oh wow, what a noble sacrifice you made. Fucking hell. Easy for you to say. Your gran doesn't even care. You can stay out as long as you want. You wouldn't even get in trouble. Seriously? You're acting like I chose this? If that's what you think, then maybe you're the bad friend.
Rolo's tone changed to a calm, yet more intense anger.
You already know I don't do voices and accents and things, so I'm not emulating this because my throat's already having issues as it is. I'm not forcing it. Maybe Pa is right. Storm brings more than water. Storms bring more than water? Yeah. Lightning, thunder, clouds, wind. This one brought out the real Luca. Stop quoting your pa's nonsense like it means anything. Yeah, well, at least my pa's still around.
The words hung in the cold night air.
Sorry, Rolo, but that's a little bit too fucking much.
Rolo's stomach dropped, knowing he'd crossed a line. But it was too late.
Like, if it was about the mother, fair enough. She's gone missing. She could have left. It could have been by choice for all we know. The dad's dead. That's too much. Luca, Good night, Rolo. Dang it. Well. Oh, let's go exploring. Are we just going to bed?
Luca dug through his old stuff, not even sure what he was looking for.
A jerk. Call me a bad friend. Ooh, I'm Rolo. Look at me and my amazing family. You know. Just boot it forever. Okay, what else do you want me to do? I was trying to walk past it, fuck's sake. Guess I'm just never supposed to make new friends.
Gran
Luca?
cooed gently from the hallway.
You slept straight through breakfast. Luca, are you alright? I'm fine. I don't feel like getting up yet. Okay, I'll leave this oatmeal by the door. Love how she's not coming in when it's also her room. Like, you could just come in, love. Gotta run out and take care of something. What are you playing with? What are you even doing? Something under there that's papery or plasticky or something. Just keeps batting it from one side to the other. What the fuck? That'll be what I heard fall off the side when I was in the shower in the bathroom earlier, bitch. And cat nicked my soothers. Of all the things to nick, she nicked my soothers. I didn't even notice. Yeah, I've got to run out and take care of some things. Okay. We're back later to check in. Sure.
Luca just wanted to be alone. He waited to hear the sound of the front door closing.
Okay. I bet Rolo's still going to go to the festival. He's going to be miserable. And deserves it, the little ginger bastard. If Rolo thinks I'm still going to the festival with him, he could shove it. Does that mean we're going with Bex instead? We're going to be that petty. Oh, just
Luca
going back to
dozed
bed?
off again.
Okay. He's now looking under the TV stand to look for the soothers that she knocked under that aren't there anymore. That's one thing the camera being there is you can see out even more obvious how much I don't usually have both ears on. I can hear myself better. I see you didn't eat your oatmeal. Wasn't hungry. Well, just in case you get hungry, I'll leave a sandwich here too. Rolo came by. What did he say? I wanted to talk to you. What did you say? Told him you weren't feeling well. Good. So your plan is to just sit in your room all day? Pretty much. Which sounds like a good plan to me. I don't see a problem. It's lacking a computer or PlayStation or something, but we can deal with it. Well, I need to pop away again for a minute. If you decide to end your pity party and go outside, I think it'd do you some good. Noted.
Lucas still couldn't bring himself to go out. Besides, if he ran into Rolo, he'd have to actually confront the situation.
There's never anything interesting at the festival anyway. What?
The Adventures of Hank Atomic.
Oh, Christ. The comic that Rolo is obsessed with. Complete first
Luca
volume.
carefully opened the cover and began to read. Rolo had received it for his birthday, a special hardcover edition with behind-the-scenes commentary and bonus art. Rolo cherished it, but asked that Luca keep it at his house. Luca wasn't sure if it was because Rolo didn't trust himself with it, didn't trust his sister around it, or just wanted an excuse to come hang out at Luca's more often. Whatever the reason, Luca didn't mind. But it had stayed right there where Rolo had stashed it ever since. Now, at the foot of his bed, Luca lost himself in the pages. He'd read it all before, but at this moment, it somehow felt sentimental. He was well into issue number 5 when he heard soft footsteps from the hallway.
Luca, another little friend came to see you. A girl named Beck Modewell. Modewell? You said you met yesterday. What did she say? Is she here? She was just dropping by. I told her you weren't taking visitors today. Oh. Bitch. She seems nice. You had a fight with Rolo, didn't you? Can I come in? Maybe later. It's her room as well, love. Jesus Christ. Leave dinner on the kitchen table, in case you want to bite before bedtime.
Without realizing it, Luca had pouted away the entire afternoon. He once again felt the weight of it all and allowed his weary eyes to close. Luca stood in a vast black
Just fell asleep,
expanse.
face on top of the book, so he's going to dribble all over it. Ruin it.
He looked up at his father standing beside him. Walt was working a straw at the bottom of a fountain glass, trying to collect the last bits of milkshake.
Monitor a bit more. Too much. No.
Dad, where are we? Taking a final loud gurgling sip, his father peered up from the glass. He jangled the straw playfully with a warm smile, then lifted the empty glass as if to point into the darkness. The source.
Source of what?
Luca's eyes followed his father's gesture. In an instant, he was sitting in front of a blazing campfire. Across from him sat a large figure in a yellow hazmat suit. The figure's voice was a scratchy echo. Well, if it isn't the man of the hour. Make yourself comfortable. Luca held his shivering hands over the flame to warm himself. It doesn't work that way here. Their yellow-gloved hand pointed to the base of the flame. It's a cold flame. See? Luca peered at the base of the fire. It wasn't wood that was burning. It was Beacon Pines itself. Tiny
Hurry up.
buildings, freezing and crumbling as they were consumed by flame. Luca could see small shadows moving in the burning city. People. Luca leapt to his feet. We've got to help them! The figure gave a dismissive wave of their hand. Why waste energy helping people who can't even help themselves? The figure bent down to examine the panicked crowd as they desperately tried to stop the flames. They only care about what's right in front of them, not like us. Luca's voice was a trembling whisper. Us? The figure slowly stood up, grabbing its helmet with both hands. With a jolt and a twist, the suit emitted a gasp. A cloud of torpid mist escaped, slowly revealing the face within. Luca's own face looked back at him. Older, worn, distant. The sensation was oddly familiar, as if he'd caught his own reflection by surprise in the mirror. The doppelganger smiled. I tried to help once. He gestured towards his face. And all it got me was this. Luca staggered back. You aren't me. Luca felt a hand catch his shoulder. His father was there again, beside him. Every choice sets us on a path. This is the end of one of your paths, son. Luca watched his older self shake its head ruefully, its face twisting into a cruel grin. Welp, Dad, if you wanted him to see this, far be it from me to disappoint.
What the fuck is going on?
Luca watched in shock as the figure took a confident step forward and plunged into the flames. In a flash of cold light, he was gone. What does all of this mean?
I would like to know
Luca
as well.
felt a reassuring squeeze on his shoulder. Just remember, why we choose matters just as much as what we choose. Luca woke up to see a hazy figure at the foot of his bed, silhouetted in the morning sun.
Okay, it's Grandma. So, the fuck, really? Mom? Oh dear. Only Gran.
Luca rubbed his eyes. The kind, concerned face of his gran came into focus.
I'm concerned about this kid's freaking dreams. He's 12, remember? What the fuck is he dreaming at 12? Like, huh? How are you feeling? Fine. Anything you want to talk about? I don't feel like talking. That's just as well. How about you sit there and listen a bit? Ugh. Whatever you and Rolo thought about doesn't matter. But
Gran
he...
silenced Luca with a gentle pat on the leg.
Fights between friends happen. What was said doesn't matter. The important thing is that it's not the last thing you ever say to each other. But he said stuff about Dad. Think he meant it? No. He was just mad. And did you mean any of the things you said to him? No. Good. One must appreciate friends in their best moments. What if he'd said yes? Like, yes, I meant to tell him he's a fucking piece of shit. Excuse me. And accept them in their worst. Get your little butt out of bed. The festival's today. You don't want to miss that, do you? I guess not. Seems like a good opportunity to make amends with Rolo, doesn't it?
Luca gave a reluctant nod.
So buy him a corn dog and apologise. Corn dog, really. But he's the one that... What did I just say? I am a corn dog. That's a good boy. Everything's better with corn dogs. I'm not sure it is. Need to get going now. Some last minute festival business to take care of. I'll find you at the fountain a little after lunch. Blah blah blah. Get out of it.
Luca took a deep breath.
She's being less sus in this run. The last run she was sus as... I mean, no she wasn't. This is the run with the jams. The jam delivery, wasn't it? Where she's clearly passing secret notes to the two that she was doing something with in the previous run. Whose names I've already forgotten. No, it's the one who runs the diner and the one who runs the veg stand, but I can't remember names. Okay. Time to get off our butt.
Chapter 6.
Which is, I think, the furthest we've got chapter-wise.
Through thick and thin. Despite Luca's bitterness, Gran was right. He needed to hash things out with Rolo.
Without curiosity, how many chapters are there? 11. Yeah, we're not finishing this today. This is going to be a 3-part stream, I think. 3-stream game. Words. We're probably not going to finish this today. We started at 2, didn't we? So if we're going till 9/10. Five R5 and then switch. Yeah. And we'll finish it another day. Hang on, what did I put on the schedules? The rest of the week. I need I could switch out. That is last week's schedule, that's not helpful. There's this week's schedule. Could swap Prey on Saturday for it. Finish it. Yeah, then we'll do that. We'll switch Prey on Saturday. So Saturday will be Walking Dead next episode and then this to finish. If we have time at the end, after we finish this, we'll do some Prey instead.
A big fight changes the nature of a friendship. Whether, in the end, it is for the better or for the worse, all comes down to understanding. If one is not careful, the same familiarity that builds the strongest of bonds can become the wrecking ball that shatters them. Luca emerged from seclusion, taking in the crisp festival air, but the events of the day weren't on his mind. He had to find Rollo.
Hey, well, let's go. Oh, we have to go through the festival to get to half the places, don't we? Like, let's just go everywhere but the festival first. Oh, we can't even come and tell our dad that Rollo was being a little bitch. Oh. There you are. What do you want? Rollo wanted me to tell you something.
Roxy
What is
rolled
it?
her eyes, shaking her head.
Space adventure. You needn't buy it. If ye be brave, go somewhere quiet. Roxy, I don't... It's a riddle, Luca. No shit. My goofy little brother wants you to find
Luca
him.
looked down and kicked at the dirt.
I mean, somewhere quiet would assume either the treehouse or the warehouse area, the woods. Look, I know you two had a fight. The only thing more annoying than my little brother is my little brother without his best friend. Wow. So I'm doing him this one favour. Now, I need one favour from you. Whatever it is that went down between you two, squash it. Space adventure, though, you needn't buy it if you be brave, go somewhere quiet. Library. Duh. Yeah, it is at the library. We'll go everywhere but the library. Oh, Jesus, people. How goes the beetle hunt? Pretty rotten. I haven't seen so much as an exuviae. Exuviae? The fuck is an exuviae? Probably about to answer it, but I'm going to look it up anyway. A cast or sloughed skin of an animal, especially of an insect larva. As in the shed exoskeleton. Yeah. I can't say I've ever heard it use that word before. And it's not just the beetles. This morning I couldn't find any critters at all. Like everything that buzzes or skitters just packed up and left. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. Maybe all the commotion of the festival just spooked them. Yeah, maybe that's it. Also, while I'm thinking about it, we're not going back yet, but just out of curiosity, we gained any other new things we could do. So we don't know if Rumble's done yet, because that's the path we're currently on. But we could also do Break for the Storm. We've got Tickle for the... bullying by the puddle. That's it so far. Right, what's going on? Welcome to our festival. Don't forget to come back later for Mr. Kerr's speech and the Perennial Harvest Festival sign reveal, which I think this is the run where someone edited the sign. I think Bully Boy, considering in the bottom right he's got a little paintbrush in front of him, by the look of it. Either a paintbrush or he's got a fucking firework. Unique New York, unique New York. Huh? Oh, don't mind me. Just warming up for my big ceremony
Mr. Kerr
speech.
pointed to his grinning mouth.
Gotta limber up the old gab box. You nervous? Oh, heavens no. Well, break a leg. And all that said, I was too concerned. Don't know who Perennial Harvest thinks they're impressing with this ridiculous festival. Totally. The town's still falling apart. The weather's still cruddy, and this season's harvest looks like it's going to be worse than last year's. You said it. No amount of corporate pandering is going to change any of that. Exactly. But the lemonade at the drink stand over there does look pretty tasty. It's... I'm still going to be mad at them. I'd just rather be mad while sipping some delicious lemonade is all. I agree with her. Wow, he is just still there. Ain't moving.
Jeff was staring into the distance with a wistful look.
Hey, Jeff, everything all right? Huh? Yeah, everything's fine. I mean, used to be fine. It ain't right these days, you know? I really do,
Jeff
actually.
turned to Luca with a furrowed brow, then gave an understanding nod.
You do, don't you?
For a moment, the two now shared that same wistful gaze.
Are we okay? Every single time. What? Yup. It was a firework. Goddamn. Wait for it. Unexplained sound once again noted. Like clockwork. What a bunch of drones. Right. Does that have another one? A most welcoming of welcomes. Would you like to share your thoughts? We always strive to improve. Nope. She is still there with her bloody book. Well, they've at least put the freaking stuff that was everywhere away. This is the first time I've seen this many smiling faces since the foul harvest. I had my doubts about perennial harvest, but I must admit, they do put on a nice party. They use the word harvest way too much. Anyone at the cafe? Hi, Luca. How's Griffin doing? What? Oh, nothing.
Sorry all became flesh.
Pretend I didn't say anything. Griffin's the one who's usually sat here, isn't it? Who's that one? Talk to Book Lady in a second. No, that's Piper. Which one's Griffin? Thank you for the hydrate. Piper, you're actually taking a break from studying. I wanted to see what the festival fuss was about. But I can't help but notice you still brought your backpack full of books. Luca backpacks can carry a lot more than just books. True, true. What you got in there? Books. Speaking of books, what you reading now? Oh. Oh, I want to know what she's reading. Anna. Excuse me. I've got a question for you. What do you think this whole festival is for? The way I figure it, Perennial Harvest is trying to win over the town. Like a bribe, but with balloons. Cynical, I like where your head's at. That's what I assumed at first too, until I eavesdropped on a couple of gossipy clipboards. What if I told you that this whole thing is really a special shindig for a super secret guest of honor? A special guest? Who? I haven't dug that deep yet, but whoever it is, EH thinks they're a big deal. EH? Perennial Harvest. Duh. Wanted to do the flashback for Mother. Will you two stop it? I was able to return the Perennial Harvest safety suit you borrowed. Safety suit? Considering we've seen multiple people in freaking hazmat suits? Don't think anyone noticed. Good. Now will you tell me what you needed it for? It was a favour for an enemy of my enemy. This isn't going to harm Mr. Kerr, is it? Excuse me. All you need to know is that it's for the good of the family. They're up to something. Alright, sort of. Alright, find a way to kick a melon. I've done that like 5 times, and I've only just got the achievement? What? Hey, Luca, so you're done at the library? Huh? Oh, nothing.
Griffin looked away suspiciously.
Nothing at all. Luca, did you know that Beacon Pines is actually unincorporated? A lot of people don't know that. Wow, yeah, I didn't know. What's that mean? It mostly means public works are handled internally. We do all the pipelines, the water treatment, building regulations. That's great. Census not talking. Emergency services. Yeah, bye. See ya. Oh, can I get past the library without having to go in? Yes, okay, let's go. Go see elsewhere. Nothing new here. Roaches everywhere. Puddle has not yet happened. Property of Valentine Fertilizer Company. Looks old. Nothing new here. Nothing new here. Okay, to the library. Ooh. Press that. Ah. Buttons. Library. Somewhere quiet. Guessing he's in the back. Talk to you first. Right, Jace. Still working through the newest Hank Atomic? You know it. Some fascinating canon towards the end. An actual canon or canon as in canon? Canon canons, it's spelled differently. Shut up. Did you know Hank Atomic's shrink array doesn't technically shrink stuff? It uses inverse quantum particle decay to literally grow the entire universe around an object. Sorry. Leaving that object unaltered. So it just looks shrunk compared to everything else. Bingo. That's wild. But Jace, no spoilers, please. Alright, sorry. So I'm sorry, they designed a frickin' shrink ray that doesn't just shrink the thing that you shoot, which would be a much smaller thing to be doing, literally. It makes literally everything else in the universe grow. Huh? Sure. Hey, Luca.
Eyes lit with excitement.
I've been expecting you. Bravo on deciphering the first riddle. Great. The first. Oh, you didn't think that was all, did you? Rolo does go all out, doesn't he? Oh, we didn't go and check the frickin'
Kato straightened up and cleared his throat as if preparing to sing.
treehouse. Ahem. On planet Farpool, you may take issue with the... When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue.
Kato stared at Luca
Issue.
eagerly.
Shadow stared at Luca. Hang on, fifth issue. Weren't we reading the fifth issue of Thingy at home? Want me to tell you? No, it's okay. Let me figure it out. Right. When you find it, bring it here to be verified. Yes, it is. And if you decide you want a hint, the offer still stands. I can tell you one thing. It's not out there. Oh, okay. So we want it in here.
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 5, from the shelf.
Once you've got a book, you can either bring it here to me or just grab a different one.
Kato
Found
removed
it.
his book from the desk and replaced it with Luca's, turning on the lamp. As he slid the book under the purple light, 2 words glowed. The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue 5. Luca clicked
Was
his
that
tongue with
necessary?
recognition.
Was that necessary? Rolo's cipher pen. He used to write secret messages everywhere with that. And only I had the special flashlight needed to reveal it. And I lost it. Apparently, he traded Jeff for this purple light bulb. Parted his entire Halloween candy stash. Now let's see here.
Kato began flipping through the pages, stopping when he hit a glowing word.
Gets away with such a
He
grift.
continued flipping.
Only found in Grub Art.
Reaching the end of the book, Kato looked up.
That's it. Grift in Grub Cart. Griffin. Griffin's Grub Cart. We just fucking came from there. He wants me to go to Griffin's snack stand. Ah, brilliant. Guess you're off then. Good luck on the rest of the scavenger hunt. Is this all necessary? Hey, Griffin. Did Rolo
Before
come?
Luca could finish his sentence, Griffin handed him a corn dog.
Oh, that's it? Bought and paid for. Enjoy. I thought there was supposed to be a riddle or something.
Luca shrugged, taking a sizable bite out of the corn dog.
It's cold! Oh yeah, that's been sitting here for a while. Rolo wanted me to give you... Rolo wanted me to be sure to give you that one specifically. Well, that's
Luca
just...
tongued at his cheeks, feeling something rough between his teeth. He reached into his mouth and pulled out a slip of paper.
Oh, come
He
on.
shook off the bits of corn dog to read the slip.
Pick up when you need some pep. Near the fountain up the step.
Luca finished off the
Cafe.
remainder of the corn dog.
The coffee shop. It's just getting to be a whole thing. By the fountain, up the steps. They sell coffee, which pep. No way I'm actually doing this. Way below my pay grade. Oh, come on, you big stiff. Let the kids have some fun. Fine. But Rolo owes me
Louis
one.
waved his hands around sarcastically as he began.
What takes flight but has no wings? Your final task, a friendship brings. A rocket. See, that wasn't so hard. Not even going to question that charm. I'm going to question that charm. Hard? Really? I feel cheapened somehow. I think it's sweet. I'm going to guess that's the rocket in the house. Oh, or he's just going to give us some fucking balloons. Same, whatever, close enough. Close enough, rocket balloons. Hey, did you find the comic book? Yep. And you got the corn dog? Yep. Well then, I know it doesn't make up for what I said, but here, you've earned
Rolo
this.
sheepishly handed Luca the balloons.
Fuck's sake. You didn't have to go to all this trouble. I'm sorry I got so mad. I think you were supposed to let me apologise first. Oh, sorry. Now you've apologised twice before me. Literally about to say that. Just let me do this. Luca, I'm really sorry. With everything that's happened with your mom and all. Always wanted to be there for you. Be a good friend, you know? When you said you were hanging out with someone else, kind of freaks out. Still my turn. I feel like if you need someone... Sorry. If you need some new friend to help you, it meant that I wasn't good enough. But that was selfish and wrong. Yes, it was, dickhead. I was wrong. I'm so sorry. Okay, apology over. You can talk now.
Luca threw himself at Rolo, hugging him as tightly as he could.
She had to be an ass about it. Like, not even good balloons. And walk off. Rolo, I don't deserve you. I mean, Rolo started the argument, so, you know. You didn't deserve that. Why we deserve each other. So, what else do you want to do today? We could snoop around and try and find some info about your mum. Snoop where? We could probably sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ while everyone's at the festival. Aren't you curious about all the stuff those clipboards write down? Yes, I fucking am. What if we get caught? I think I've had enough excitement for 1 week. Just make the rest of the day about us. Really? Yeah, the rest of the world can wait one more day. You know, I have been wanting to get some work done on the MCDC at Mission Control. The aim is a bit unpredictable. Yeah, the thing that we tried to shoot at frickin' Hyena Man. And it fucking missed. Sounds perfect. We'll have to take the balloons. We'll leave the balloons somewhere. Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your gran this morning. She asked me to
Rollo
give you
handed
this.
Luca an unopened letter.
I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now.
Luca, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand. If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself. But whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you. None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much. We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward. But if there is, I haven't thought of it. God knows I've tried. Everything I've done, I did for you. I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran.
Sorry, what?
Luca folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder.
We know she's up to something with the other two, but... Huh? What's up with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? How about we talk about the fact that those balloons are going up past the ceiling? Does this treehouse have a ceiling? Maybe later. Excuse me. Sure, whenever you want. So why is there a pot of blue paint with a paintbrush in it? But nothing is painted blue. You know, you really didn't have to go to all that trouble just to apologise. I know, but we've been looking forward to the festival for weeks. After I ruined everything with my big mouth, this was the best way to make sure you still had a good time without me.
Luca was at a loss for words, but that was fine. Words aren't always necessary.
The festival seemed nice. Was it nice? We can still go. Nah, this is fine. Well, there's always next year.
Sadly, this was untrue.
Right. Spoiler narrator.
A
Fucking hell.
distant rumble shook the treehouse.
Huh? What was that? Oh man, we missed the fireworks.
It was not fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself.
Cthulhu?
A shockwave of cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill. Before they could react, it encased them in ice. Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene.
I'm sorry, what the actual fuck just happened?
In a silent treehouse turned statuary, in a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together, for the rest of time.
So my creepy ass dream came true. Is that basically what just happened?
The end. No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't. I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either.
Nah, that's it. We're done. That's the end. We got frozen. Oh, Jesus Christ.
There are more endings, more possibilities. I can feel it. We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
So we've got break for there. Or we've got tickle for there. Or flight now. Ooh. We'll stick to this one for now. This is leaving the dinner. The storm started.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star-filled summer night.
Ah.
Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops.
So assuming this one we just go and see Rolo with Beck, maybe? Yeah. Sure, you can meet Rolo. You're not going home? No, I promised Rolo I'd tell him
Luca
about
stopped himself mid-sentence.
stuff. Promise you tell him what? Spit it out, bub. We're thick as thieves now. If there's a juicy secret, you've got to tell me. Okay. You can come to the treehouse and I'll tell you both what happened. Heck yeah.
Luca saw Beck skulking by the gate.
You're telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place? Mostly boring and stuff. I refuse to believe that. I clicked too quickly. Big spiked gate, looming mansion, rich, reclusive owners. It even smells shady.
Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate.
Mark my words, you decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me. Alright, fuck it. Fucking hell. What did you do? First of all, I told you so. Second, hide. Oh, yep, and that is the suit that we saw at the warehouse. That's Heiress Valentine. Who's she talking to? I expect you to return that suit in working order. Of course, as long as everything proceeds as planned, there's nothing to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. If that means making some unsavoury alliances, so be it. I couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with that common threat. What the actual fuck is going on? So I'm guessing we're still not going to go and see Rolo. Now this is what I was talking
Beck's
about.
voice was an excited whisper.
Proper shady stuff. Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday. Seriously? Yes, seriously. Fucking hell. You do understand that when this all inevitably fails, I will deny everything. I wouldn't expect any less of you. You just worry about your part in this and let me handle the rest. Can't wait to see the look on that Rube Kerr's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. I'm still surprised you're so comfortable with the potential collateral damage. There's one thing I've learned, is that change is painful. Wow, I was expecting shady. But that's just flat out supervillain talk. If you don't mind me asking, why? Why are you doing all of this?
The mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners.
Grandma? Fucking what?
A
Family.
chill ran down Luca's spine.
I'm sorry.
His vision blurred. Beck stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand.
An answer I can certainly respect.
Gran tousled her hair back under the face mask.
But not out of the back of it, so everyone can still tell it's you. Just remember, keep everything nice and normal until the festival. Don't need lessons in rousing suspicion.
Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared into the night.
Oh, I wanted to go in. Ew.
Chapter 5. What big ears you have.
Sorry, Little Red Riding Hood. Grandma. Is there a wolf?
Luca sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Why were you so scared of that old lady in the hazmat suit? That was my gran. That was your gran? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. I don't think there is, look. Let's just get to the treehouse and figure things out there. Lead the way. Okay, so we are still meeting Rolo. Yeah, won't let me go that way. But can we not just follow her? Because the assumption would be she's going towards the warehouse. For the last time, there's nothing to worry about. Of course, we're not
The
worried.
clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up.
Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Well, maybe try minding your P's and Q's.
Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh.
If there's anything you need knowing, you'll know it. Absolutely. You'll just sign here acknowledging everything is accurate. We'll be out of your hair in a flash. Oh, for the love of...
He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped.
Excuse me. Bloody hell. There. And would you like my eternal soul as well?
The clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility.
Wow.
Then broke into laughter as they walked away.
Surprised they know how to laugh, to be honest. Hi, Mr. Nuncreed. Luca, let me give you some advice. The next time someone you don't know asks to hear your thoughts, give him a good hard bop in the kisser. Oh, Gran just tells me to keep away from the clipboards. That's good, that's good. Your Gran is a smart lady, Luca. Speaking of which, you better run along home now. Too dark out to be wandering on your own. Oh shit, we're gonna wander. She's still there. The answers you seek will be revealed to you in due time. Question is, the figure intoned, are you prepared to live with the truth? Is she reading a book or is she just talking to me? Because another day, another dollar. See you tomorrow, Z. Have you noticed how all the perennial harvest folks order the same drink? Decaf cappuccino with extra foam. Why? Don't know. I thought it's a little odd. Pretty weird for sure. Well, the customer's always right. See you bright and early tomorrow. Yes, because that's the only weird thing about Perennial Harvest, not the fact that there's fucking 30-odd employees and they are all red pandas that look identical. Apart from the leader. Speaking of the leader.
William Kerr and Gus Valentine proudly surveyed the half-covered festival banner.
All coming together quite nicely. Couldn't have done it without
The
you.
mayor gave a half-hearted shrug.
I'm not so sure about that. Nonsense. That reminds me, I wasn't able to thank your sister for her contributions. Yeah, she has been indisposed of late. She doesn't much like me, does she? Oh no, that's not it at all. She's just been busy. Of course. Regardless, I would be forever grateful if you could pass my thanks on to her. The History Museum adds a real air of import to the whole affair. We couldn't very well celebrate the story of Beacon Pines without including the Valentines. My father was a great man. The darn tootin' he was.
Kerr locked his arm on Gus's shoulder.
I mean the entire Valentine family. Present company included. Can I ask you something, Mr. Kerr? Call me William. No. Ask away. Why are you doing all of this? Gosh, I've never felt one needed compelling reason to throw a party. I mean, to be fair, do you really need a reason to throw a party? Not just the festival. All of this. There's got to be 100 down-on-their-luck towns out there. Why is Perennial Harvest so invested in helping Beacon Pines? You know what I love most about the agriculture business? Seeds. What? Seeds? Yeah, exactly. Yep, little bundles of potential.
With a glimmer in his eye, Kerr gestured grandly toward the horizon.
You treat a seed right, nurture it, feed it, and it can grow into something truly special. You see potential here? Undoubtedly. The seed of greatness is already under our feet. But there's something dodgy going on in that warehouse underground. Accidentally opened 2 live streams of you was getting an echo. As long as it is just because you had 2 open, there isn't an actual echo, because Jesus Christ. Wouldn't be the first time we've had that issue. All it needs is a little nudge. And the right leadership, of course. Oh. Good night, Mayor Valentine. Alright, we don't need to see you walk the entire fucking way. Jesus. Excuse me. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further on from here. So what's your buddy Rolo like? Ginger. Not particularly helpful. Sorry, I've just never really thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny even when he's not trying to be. Things have been tough for his family since the Foul Harvest. It's about damn time you tell me what this Foul Harvest thingy is. Kinda long story. Hit me with the highlights. Okay. There used to be a fertilizer company here called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Ooh, big deal fertilizer. It was a big deal to us. That stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. The Valentines grew and grew. Beacon Pines pretty much grew around it. Most everyone in the town either worked for Sharper Valentine or used his fertilizer. Things were good. Sensing a big but. Around 6 years ago, Sharper Valentine suddenly died. Something changed. Changed how? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was in the water or air or soil. Nobody knows. But all the crops died. And everyone blamed the Valentine. How? Yes. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. The next year, the crops came back. But something was different. You plant a crop, do everything right, and it's sort of a crapshoot what happens. And no one knows why? Nope. I take it Rolo's farm got the short end of the stick. Yep, for some reason their farm was hit harder than others. That sucks. By any chance, is it closer to the fucking warehouse? Why am I buzzing? Junkie whales. Excuse me. Things have gotten better since Perennial Harvest came to town. Beacon Pine's Reborn initiative? Yep, first thing they did was give the town a deep scrub. They even put us up in hotels, one town over for a week, while they decontaminated the groundwater. We better get going. Even that is sus as fuck. What? It's about time. I was about to give up and go home. Who's the new kid? Name's Beck. You must be Rolo. I see my reputation precedes me. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, though? Because it's not always a good thing. Welcome to Mission Control.
Rolo waggled his head with pride.
You'll find we've spared no expense in construction. I've seen worse looking piles of junk. Thanks. Wasn't a compliment. Hey Luca, you know the security concerns we talked about? Yeah. While I was waiting, I made some improvements. Let me lock this baby down for a little test infiltration. Can't be too safe these days. Fuck. He goes all out, doesn't he? Always. What the fuck do you want me to do here? Oops. What the fuck? Why did you guys get all this junk in the first place? There's a guy in town named Jeff who trades us junk for snacks. Junk food for junk. Nice. No. Pretty sweet security, right? I mean, it literally does nothing. I'm just saying. Like, anybody could hit those targets. It was imaginative, I'll give you that. Luca, are we sure we can trust the new recruit? I'll vouch for her. Thanks, I guess. Okay, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine warehouse.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
But like I said, there was someone there. What were they doing? I don't know, but the place was lit up and active. Maybe there were squatters. Don't think so, it seemed more organised. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running. A man pulled you in? No comment. Yeah, but I got away. You keep saying it was a man. They were wearing a mask, right? Yeah. But it could have been a woman. How did you get away? I grabbed a rock or something and broke their masks. They let go and I ran. Damn. That's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandma. Yeah, that's the other part. On our way here, Beck and I saw Eris Valentine meeting with Gran, wearing the same sort of hazmat suit.
Rolo let out a low whistle.
They weren't there for idle chit-chat. It was a proper clandestine meetup. let me get this straight. There's an operation in full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit. And then you saw your gran in the same suit talking to heiress Valentine. Pretty much. I'm beginning to think this town is kind of awesome.
Rollo and Luca shot back a look.
No offense. And so we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town, he's upset. And their leader is your gran and she tried to murder you. First of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Why do I feel like there's going to be aliens now? They're too adamant against it. Second, it couldn't have been my gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged. But she's definitely hiding something. Maybe. The Gran is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide? I don't know, we haven't talked much since she moved in. Moved in? Your Gran isn't from here? No, she came a few months back to take care of me after his mum went missing. Did you know your Gran before? Not really, no. It's been years since I've seen her. Luca, don't take this the wrong way. Well, are we sure your Gran is on the up and up?
Luca gazed out the window.
I'm just saying, it sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up. You could say the same thing about your family. But you're right. Luca, your Gran is hiding something. Bar always says folks only bury stuff worth digging up. Technically, I guess, yes. I need to investigate your house. My Gran really is hiding something in the cupboard at the top of the stairs that she fucking won't let us go into. Don't you think I would have noticed by now? That's kind of the whole point of hiding something. Yes, you're right. Gran's been leaving the house for hours at a time this week. I'll call you two tomorrow when the coast is clear. We can start getting to the bottom of this. I'm always game for a good snoop. You can count me in.
Chapter 6. Secret Lair.
Not the layer I was expecting that to be, then.
Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder. Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
Hello? What time is it? Time to get your ass out of bed. Adding you this cupboard. Alright, fucking hell. What is he wearing? Rolo, what on earth is that? Is she wearing something stupid as well, or is that just what her hair actually looks like? That ridiculous thing on your head. Oh, this? It helps me think. Somehow I think you need more than that, to be honest, Rolo. You're going to need a lot more of those. Fuck's sake. Joke all you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case wide open. The coast is clear? Yep, whatever she's been up to this week, it's been keeping her busy most of the day. Very well. The game is afoot.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room.
If I were a Gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? In the knitting box. That's where you might least expect it.
Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence.
Aha!
He coughed as a veil of dust hit his face.
Speaking of cough. Yeah, we might not go all the way till like R5 because my throat is already having enough of this talking. Well, I was saying that we're doing Prey all stream tomorrow, so I could do a couple hours of this at the start before Prey as well. I think it's safe to assume anything that dusty isn't what we're looking for. Maybe that's what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. First hunches are for suckers. Eureka! You lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. keeps that fire going every day, Rolo. Rats. It may already be too late. Just think of the mounds of documents lost to ash. Okay. I'm going to stop you right there. Can we just think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere Gran doesn't want you to go? Yes. The closet upstairs. Then maybe it stands to reason that we should check there first. No dice, it's locked. Well, well, well. Look who stands to reason now. And I have no idea where the key is. If it really is important, then she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? It has her berry bushes. Who has ever thought, I'm going to take this important thing and hook it in a bush? Hook it in a bush. What a frickin' sentence. True. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Well, she is always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen. But it doesn't matter anyway, I can't reach the
A
lamp.
look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted in turn toward the kitchen.
It can't be that obvious. Alright, Rolo. This is your time to shine. Ah, yes. Called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed
Before he could
with...
finish, Luca scrambled up Rolo's back.
Hey, this isn't my idea of detective work. Every squad needs a good lockpick. And every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on. If you have a lockpick and you're capable of picking locks, why do you need the key for the closet? This is beneath my standing. Stop complaining and hold still. Got it.
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss, but the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah. I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh hey, let me just yank on this random
As Beth
teacup
pulled
and...
on one of the teacups, it slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Seems like your Gran's been doing some remodeling. Dude, only two types of people have secret lairs. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So which one do we think she is? We're about to find out. Into the Bat Cave we go. Or the Deer Cave in this case. So more of an unhinged conspiracist vibe. Oh wow. Yeah, this cannot be good. We need to look around before jumping to conclusions.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging
Again.
folder labeled
Bothered by
Walter.
locks. Which you literally just picked a lock.
For a long moment, he just stared at it.
Walter's dad, isn't it? What do you got there? My dad. Looks like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a doctor?
Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb.
I don't want to make one of my the Asian market order tea things, because I feel like tea would help with my throat drying the fuck up, because water is not. Are you going to read it? Here, let me help.
Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages.
He has no subtlety at all, does he?
He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
How about you actually read some of it? One sec. Dense documents such as this are a lot like a cheeseburger. It's best to skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Wow, I had no idea we were in the presence of the preeminent scholar in dense documents and cheeseburgers. By all means, proceed.
He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle.
Where's the monocle come from? Hello? Ah, here we are. Follow-up examination of Terence Wilby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. Body temperature continues to drop. Now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is on about the green gunk, isn't it? This is similar to the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Welby just a few days past. Still waiting on lab results from Joseph.
Rollo looked up with heightened surprise.
The creepy. Yeah, that's kind of disturbing. Who's Joseph? That's Mr. Nuncreed's name.
Rollo's
Wait.
finger traced across the page.
There's more scribbles in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Wilby claims the tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental? Lab results only raise more questions. It's like he came back to this report later and made those notes. It might be related to something else. Yeah, I need tea. My throat is already going like dry as a mother. Dry as Gandhi's flip flop. There you go. Not where my brain was originally going. Oh, which one do I want to do though? We have got malted milk tea, red bean milk tea, which I think is just milk tea with red beans in it, because one of the larger ones was also had red beans in it that I did the other day, which was interesting. Let's say that. Like popping candy, like popping juice balls, boba, jellies, fine. Red beans, like actual little red beans, a little bit strange. White peach milk tea. Vanilla. That one's got boba. Arrow also with boba. So those two have got boba. That one's got red bean. Those two have got jelly. So I'm thinking one of the jellies. Malted or white peach? Yeah, malted. Quite like malted. Instructions. 4 sachets in the cup according to taste. Ah! 150ml boiled water. So well raised. I need all tea bags. How many tea bags are in this freaking thing? Ooh, it comes with a straw. That'll be jellies. Nata de coco. Yep. The jellies. Milk tea powder. Wheat flavoured. Sugar. Missing a tea bag. Legitimately missing the tea bag. There's supposed to be a tea bag in it. Hello? I mean, in theory, I can do it with just a black tea bag, as long as it's... Yeah, should be able to do it with a black tea bag. All the other ones have had a tea bag in. This one doesn't have a tea bag. Yeah, I'll be back in a minute. I won't be too long. I'm just going to pop the kettle on and throw it in this. It won't be long. I'll leave music on while I'm gone. Where is the BRB thing? Hello? Why did that not come up with the BRB toggle? Okay, we'll remove it, but it won't bring it up. That's annoying. Let me just fix that before I move. You... On, you're supposed to freaking bring on... that. There we go. Okay. Back in a minute, I won't be too long. Jesus. Overfilled it, trying to be very careful not to spill it everywhere. Oh. Right. Where were we? Let me just do a quick rearrange, because... Yeah, when I say I overfilled it, like, right up to the edge there. Oh. I don't knock it. Oh, it smells good, though. Still baffles me that it came without a tea bag. Like, the whole point is, it's tea. You make the tea, you add the milk powder, plus whatever the topping is, like the jelly or the boba, and some sugar. It had everything but a tea bag in it. Hello? Right, so it might be related to something
Roller
else.
scanned through several more pages.
Here, the writing looks shady. Shaky, not shady. Just couldn't help her. This disease, or whatever it is, progresses so fast. With his wife passing, Terrence's condition follows close behind. Sorry, Nintendo struck down the Pokemon mod for Power World, but they haven't gone for Power World yet. Am I reading that right? Granted, if they go for Power World, it'll be a proper, like, go through the law. Like, a cease and desist kind of thing is a very quick thing to go through, so that would be easier for them to do for the Pokemon mod. Whereas if they go for a proper suing, that's going to take a minute to prepare. So I'm still convinced they're going to sue the fuck out of Power World, because Power World have actively taken the models. It's not just they've been influenced. They have actively taken the models. Like, people have gone in and loaded them up into software and checked the meshes of the models, and they are identical. To get identical meshes, you've copied. Like, you physically would not get the same mesh unless you copied. So they're going to get sued to fuck. They will get sued to fuck. Particularly because they're making money off it. I'm surprised that... Actually, no, I'm not surprised. Because going for the mod is also a bit of a... Yeah, we're aware shit's going on. You can fucking stop that. Give us a minute. But let us cook. Ooh, what's the new fan game? What's the new fan game? Fan games I never have an issue with, because they're free. B, they're a passion project. Like, Power World isn't. Power World is a deliberate rip to make money. Considering it's literally Pokemon meets Breath of the Wild meets Fortnite. Like, they've literally just... Pretty much 99% of what is in that game is copied from somewhere else. And the rest is from the engine. I love how they tried to argue that... Like, someone tried to bring up that it was literally Pokemon assets on top of Fortnite mechanics and animations with Pokemon animations. Pokemon Legends UI. Some Breath of the Wild stuff involved. But they've literally just copy and pasted and then it tweaked a little bit here and there. But then the world itself is just, like, default assets from the engine they're using. And someone tried to argue, no, they were made by the in-house artists. Like, no, they weren't. Why there's so many things in the environment that look identical to other games. Because it's not them that made it. That's literally how it works. We'll never understand why people keep trying to defend it. I don't give a fuck if it's fucking fun. That shouldn't be a factor. It's a complete rip. And is a very fucking bad standard to be setting, and a bad precedent to be setting for the game industry to allow that shit to happen. Light Dark. I think I've seen or heard that one. Pokemon Light Dark. Hold up. Solar Light and Lunar Dark, that one? Is that the one? No? Light Dark. I'm seeing many games. That one? Hold on. If you've got a link to it, just stick it in the Discord. I'll have a look later. Like, Googling Pokemon Light Dark has come up with about 17 different things that are not what you just said. Exacerbated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own hands.
Staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly.
What does it say next?
Rolla rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
Where it ends. What? There has to be more.
Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter.
Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? What did he mean isn't enough is enough? How did he take matters into his own hands? This is bullshit.
Luca slammed the drawer shut. A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
She sure has kept herself busy. Is your gran a serial killer? Judging from this secret basement room, possibly yes. Like, what is in these barrels with the exclamation points on them? As I'm calling, it's probably the acid that you just shove bodies in and it melts them. Just saying. Because I'm starting to get a vibe. It'd be ridiculous. Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town, out of the kindness of her heart. You put little symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncreed has a check mark. Clipboards are all inside a big circle. My mom's are both on here, both with question marks. Thus Valentine has a question mark. Eretz has a question mark that's been crossed out. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye. The killer has chosen her next victim. We don't know what any of this means. Whatever it means, it's probably not good. What do we have here? Barrels marked caution explosive. Jam jars? That's enough jam to feed the whole town. How small is this town? Because there is nowhere near enough jam there to feed a town. What kind of incendiary jam is your gran making? You wouldn't have had me walk around town delivering bombs. Right? Only one way to find
Rollo
out.
casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam.
Huckleberries,
He smacked his lips.
hint of brown sugar, and ink? What?
Rollo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
These are the ones that she was sending notes to the others with, through us. Aha!
Offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
It's addressed to Mrs. Fratelli. A grand jamgram? Yes. It says, last night I used the disguise Heiress provided to scout the location. The timing window should be possible. Operation Sparkplug is a go. Oh man, are they doing a heist? Whatever it is, it can't be good. They're more a bombshell than a bomb, am I right? You're new here, so I'll let it slide. But I'm the bad joke guy around here. Oh, Jesus.
They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Don't tell me the warehouse has been circled. It's either the warehouse or it's Perennial Harvest HQ. Cool, this looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rollo. Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map. Kind of got you there. Can't fault that logic. Just getting on my tits. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance to town. If you
Rollo
follow
carefully
it,
traced the path with his finger.
it leads
He
right
jabbed down
to
at the end point.
Town Square. That's the fountain in the middle of town. Okay, so I was wrong. What a weird place to hide treasure. Rollo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of the path on that map has the same symbol as those explosives over there. So it's not hiding treasure? Real bummer. Rollo, what's the thing you've been excited about for the past month? The festival! Did you just say gulp? This feels like a gulp kind of situation. Don't fucking even. Just reminded me of last night. So if anyone has ever played Just One, it's a little game where one person will have a card facing away from them with 5 words on it. Pick a number. Everybody else can see those words, you can't. Everybody has to write down a 1-word hint to try and get you to guess the word correctly. But if there's duplicates, they go face down and you lose them. Just had Gump. It was Forest. I had Gump as the clue. Gump was enough to completely melt my brain as to what the fuck is that a hint for. Because in the moment, Forrest Gump was not coming to mind, and the other words weren't pushing me in that direction either. Like, there's never a gulp, gump, anything. There's never that kind of situation. Stop it. Those kind of words, bin 'em all. Everyone will be gathered near the centre of town. He's going to blow up the festival. Was it just one that we had the Gump clue? No, it wasn't. It was code names. Similar thing. Someone gives you a clue. There's words on the table. You've got to figure out which words they are. And it was Gump, and the word was forest. Like, nah, I ain't got nothing. Not if we stop her. Pretty sure there was another clue in just one that threw me off completely. What was that? That would be Gran.
Looked up from the map.
That was Gran. No, I heard it too. That was the front door. Which means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Hit the lights.
Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps.
Why would you kill the lights and just stay there? Because the freaking cabinet is still open, and there's a big fucking doorway on show. So if it is Gran, she knows we're down here.
The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence.
Oh, it's one of the two friends of Gran's. Fuck me, that's still way too hot. Ooh, tasty though. Ooh. Oh, I'm getting that again. It's like Ovaltine flavoured, but with tea taste to it. That's nice. Hello?
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs.
Anyone down there?
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump.
Yoo-hoo! Who the fuck comes down the stairs going yoo-hoo? Not here to hurt anyone.
Thump.
I'm just here to help. Excuse me. Just...
Thump. At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
Ah. There's nothing.
Rollo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth.
Rollo, don't.
It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
Flaming chicken coop!
With all his
Reference
weight,
to something from
Rollo
before.
tackled the man to the ground.
Rollo? Mysterious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Well, didn't know if I had it in me. There was only one way to find out. Holy crap, Rollo, that was awesome. Unless you just killed someone. Wait, did you just kill that
Luca
person?
scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief.
You sure clobbered him good, Rollo. He's knocked out
As
cold.
Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rollo both gasped in stereo.
Gasp! Mr. Tolliver!
Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver. Still
Sorry,
unconscious,
we're
Mr. Tolliver
interrogating
slumped
now?
heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain. They couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
They'd run the classic good cop. No comment. Good cop, hard cop interrogation. It's
They'd run
the closest to
classic
bad cop I've
good
got.
cop, hard cop interrogation.
Pretty sure that's the start of a porn, but
Willard
okay.
brandished a steely gaze. I've got this. Read about it 100 times.
Oh god, he's not being the fucking hard cop, is he? Because, no.
Rollo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl.
Well, Mr. Tolliver. Why did you accentuate the M in Mr.? That's weird.
Mr. Tolliver remained motionless.
Mr. Tolliver, maybe, but Mr.? That's weird. Mr. Tolliver remained
Rollo
motionless.
spun around to face him.
Smack
He'd
him.
clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Smack him. Thank you. I'll have a look. Actually, we've got to have a quick look now. Ooh, some Fakemon in the form of new evolutions. Megas that became new evolutions. Ooh, like there was a point where I was starting to do an actual fan game myself. Didn't get very far because I just lost interest in planning. A lot of work that goes into it. I got like the Pokemon themselves as I wanted them. Like I'd altered pretty much every Pokemon stats, abilities, evolutions, everything. All in and working. And then I just couldn't be asked to actually make the actual story and region, which was kind of necessary to release it. But that was pretty much something I did. I put every single Mega and Gigantamax I had as a new evolution. Or an alter or a split evolution. Like Charizard had a 3-split evolution. No, 4 splits. No, 3 split. Normal Charizard became Gigantamax and then the Megas were alternate Charizards. Level cap raised to 120. Interesting. A happiness checker. The amount of Pokemon I refuse to fucking use in any game because of happiness evolutions. You can play the game on Android. You need to download the app JoyPlay. I might fucking do that, to be honest. That could be a little phone game for me to play. Why have I got a ping? Right, where were we?
Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tolliver!
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head.
Prologue was good.
He recoiled with a muddled, weary
I
squint.
remember what the last game I played was. I've got rid of it since because I don't keep games very long. It was one where it was kind of... It was an Ultra Space roguelite. Ultralight? Ultralight? And that was the name of it. On Relic Castle. And that was really good. That was really fun. Because it was so fucking different. Record with a muddled, weary squint. What in the
The chair
world?
wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who's there? I also liked it because the starters are unique. They're new Fakemon. Every other Pokemon's fine. It's the normal Pokemon. But you do like, it's kind of like an actual roguelike run. As you go through. You go through Ultra Space to get to the different areas. It's really fun. I still haven't tried Reminiscence. However the fuck it's called. It's on my bookmark list. I haven't tried that one yet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Ultralight. Yeah. It's pretty fun. Obviously repetitive because it's a roguelite, but just with how different it is compared to every other Pokemon game. Quite good. I haven't got around to Reminiscence yet.
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Now hold on, let's just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're sweating.
The doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces transformed into awe.
You can do this my way, or... Well, let's just say I've never needed another way.
Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again.
Now dance! What? I don't even...
Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
You've tied me down. How on earth could I dance? Dance with your mouth, punk. That sounds lovely. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper. That's Grandma. To make sure everything's ready. Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran. Gran?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze.
Skip that, for mistake. Gonna help her blow up the festival, eh? Blow up the festival? Good
He shook
lord.
his head, feeling more and more dizzy.
No, you've got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Source? What's the source? It's
His
where
voice faded to a whisper.
the town began. Where it all began. Guessing it's the origin of the fertilizer. Because I'm guessing the fertilizer was not straight up. Oh shit. What is Operation Sparkplug?
With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold. Rollo swung around with a repentant grimace.
Damn, Rollo. Think you went a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began. We need more information. Yeah, I'm gonna assume frickin' Valentine Warehouse, where all the weird shit's going on. Yeah, but we better not push Mr. Tolliver any farther. Is there anyone else who might know more? About the History Museum. Just got set up for the festival. Now, that tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more reliable? A library, yeah. Is there any information about this source thing? Caddo can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. This is a dang nice library. Thanks, we work hard on it. Aren't you a little too adorable to be a librarian? Really? Oh, Caddo hung out here so much, eventually they gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Ms. Novak sometimes. Who the fuck is Ms. Novak? They got you working for free? It's quiet till I get access to all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for you all? We need a favour. I already told you and Rollo, I can't put you any higher on the wait list for the next Hankatomic. And if you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing, we sort of don't know. What do you got on the history of the town? There's the county record archives. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. But they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8, 6 feet under, 3 towns over.
Sorry. 6 feet under, 3 towns over.
The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe, but the old map with the symbol of
Keep
explosives
clicking at the wrong
in Town
times.
Square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
If I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are going to pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm going to end up in one of these asinine death records. Rollo Cotter lived a full and wonderful life till he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears. To be fair, it's an interesting way to go.
Rollo shut
You'd
his
never be
book
forgotten.
with an assertive nod.
If you've got a better idea, spit it out. Sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. It won't be boring county records that kill you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself.
Rollo muttered under his breath.
You're a county record. Really, that's the best you've got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like
Slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read.
J. Hartford here. Love to see you try. We're all a little tired here. Just take a minute
Something
and...
tickled the back of Luca's mind.
Wait, what was that name, Beck? In the obit? J. Hartford. From the Brookville Tribune 8 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford. That's my grand's name, Juniper Hartford. Maybe there were two J. Hartfords? Since Hartford is survived by her young daughter, E. Hartford. My mom's name is Eleanor. So Gran's dead? Who's Gran? Sentences you never want to think about saying. Okay, this is getting creepy. If your Gran is 6 feet under 3 towns over, then who am I living with?
The question hung in the air.
Why do I feel like it's his mother? Just choke on a jelly. It is his mom, isn't it? There was in the excuse me, in the medical notes. In the medical notes, I'm being killed by fucking coconut jelly. This isn't okay. In the medical notes that we found in the basement, there was something about aging. It's his mom, isn't it? She hasn't gone missing. She's literally the grandmother. Alright, gang, I gotta close up for the
Beck
night.
rubbed her eyes.
How late is it? Almost 10. Oh crap, Pa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What are you gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? Think of something. Pretty sure your Gran will probably know that they're there and let
Luca's
them out.
heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious.
If Gran
in the
hasn't gotten
basement.
back yet, why are all the lights on?
Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Luca shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering. He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
I mean, we didn't close the damn thing, so it probably has been found. Yep. Oh no!
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings, and left without a
Or
trace.
maybe Gran knew everything.
Why do?
Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Excuse me. Hey, I can figure this out. Just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
Another note? I'm afraid your jam delivery will be delayed.
He flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Nuncreed. Okay, now I can think. If Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. Guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. Somehow I don't think that's quite as simple as it's going to be. Can we please close this? No? Wow. No subtlety whatsoever. Excuse me. Gran? Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool. Is the closet open?
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter.
What was in the jam?
He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong.
Come on, legs, just a few more steps.
Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
Germ. Yep, the jam. Somebody got drugged. Which means they intended to drug Mr. Nuncreed. Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? Jam. That was me being dragged, wasn't it? Rest now. Let me handle everything. Well, judging from the previous run when the whole town fucking got frozen solid, I don't think leaving you to sort it out is a good idea, Grandma.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed.
Face down, ass up. No comment.
He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him?
Gran didn't drug you. She tried to drug somebody else.
Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed?
Mm-hmm. I mean, possibly because he's a dirty
Shaking
old
the
lech.
questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
The festival. Tells me that we've never been able to go into here. Or the parents' room. I'm guessing there's probably a like a branch somewhere where you can do that. Wait, is it still fucking open? Yeah. She definitely knows. Like, there's no way in hell she doesn't. 4 Pokemon roguelikes now. Yeah. Well, I've only played the one, and the one I've played was pretty good. So far, at least. Where have you been? Gran put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. Not this one. The one intended for Mr. Nuncreed. Put me to sleep. Whoa. Fly devil. I've been working on as all gens, and it's pretty good. This is why I quite liked Ultralight, because it had at least the starters as fake mons. I think the rest is not. I don't even know how many other Pokemon were in it. It probably says on the documents of that, but I like when there's either fake mon, changes to typings, changes to abilities, stat increases for weaker mons, things like that. If it's just straight up Pokemon, I get bored quicker. I think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around, but we haven't seen anything odd. The Gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone's gathering at the stage. Let's get moving. I don't want to go to the speech. There's too much talking. Oh, good God.
Augustus Valentine
Hold on.
nervously wiped his brow.
Yep, so grandmother, whoever the hell it is, isn't here. Tolliver isn't here. Neither is the dining lady, the diner lady that is also part of their little Operation Spark Plug. There's a few people here I've never fucking seen. Who is this there sitting by the river at the bottom? First time we've seen the little kid rabbits. Oh no, there's the diner lady. She's at the end of the bridge. She could fully be stopping people crossing the bridge. So Tolliver isn't there anyway, I don't think. Unless he's underneath this speech bid. No, he's not there. Hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor. I suppose you already know that. Yes, dickhead. Oh yes, before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognise someone who couldn't be here today. This town wouldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause befitting such a great man. No. Even that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right, where was
William
I?
Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
It's a very specific description. Gus Valentine, everyone.
He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Hear it for our mayor. That was a terrible load of clapping. What a great turnout. Oh, heck, I didn't prepare anything, liar. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be a shame to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Didn't prepare anything. Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. Inexorable. I hate that word because I never know how to say it. Unavoidable and undeniable. Well, I am dadgum thankful for it. What the fuck is dadgum? Dadgum? What fucking... Used as an intensive to express mild annoyance. And it's chiefly southern US kind of speech. Never fucking heard of it. Please don't emphasize what you're saying, especially to express Dadgum. What a name. What a freaking word. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. Simple business trip which brought me to a small town, which will change my life forever.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd. He
You know what?
wiped away a single tear.
From the second I've set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognise the potential of this place. To see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment. Change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip.
Man needs to calm down, I swear.
The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Now everyone's bored. Fate made a perfect match that day. Oh, there she is. I was like, I'm pretty sure Dawn's missing as well. I know it's daytime and she's a bat, but no, she's there. Nothing is more important to you all than community. And Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through the foul harvest was an unshakable conviction. A conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. The festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
Good for him, I'm not doing that. We now walk hand in hand into a future we will shape together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck, making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. What was that?
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day.
Mr. Kerr
Everyone
quickly
remain
flipped
calm.
through his note cards.
Where was I? Nobody cares. Through all of my travels, I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We have all planted a lot of good in this town. So it is with a happy heart that I can
He
proclaim,
raised his hands up to the heavens.
our harvest awaits!
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end. There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything! Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again.
Fucking hell.
No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
Excuse me. Right. We'll stick to this path, and then next time we'll carry on with this path here because we've got an option on both of those that we can change. And that's the path of both me and Rolo go to the warehouse at the start. This is still the path of I go. So we have chill cop, good cop, chill cop, or good cop, sly cop. Let's go sly.
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation. Luca and Rolo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task.
Oh. So if it's
With a
sly,
few crisp
Beck is the
snaps, she
detective.
roused Mr. Tolliver.
Cop. And she woke him up far more successfully. What? So Tom is in the other room, like there, the bedroom, and this is just the cat in the background on the bed. Look at the state of it. Freaking state of it. I'm surprised he's that chill. He's normally out at this point. Uh-huh. And Kate, I'll get my custom chat command. Oh, you'd be the first one. I don't think no one's got a custom chat command, have they?
I've got vision for free. I brought ages ago. I've got some.
Half a battered sausage and saveloy. We have one saveloy and one sausage each. I can. I'm not really.
No, the cat's
Good pet car. The cats do not get a saveloy. The cats do not get a saveloy. They can't have a saveloy. You don't know what spices and shit are in it.
oh shit.
You cannot give the cat saveloy. They could have some of the jumbo sausage.
They're both-
Of course they have that. You're talking about them having food. The cat, all right? Yep. What you can't see in the picture is just to the right of him is the kitten. Oh. Have you disturbed her? I don't want her. Ugh. Hey. Hey.
No.
Which is off. Where were we? So we've changed the word and now we've changed who's doing the interrogating. So I'm guessing if we go for chill, Luca, I forgot his fucking name. Luca's the detective. What's going on here? You're that Modewell girl. Horrible name. Please call me back. Sorry
Mr.
about all
Tolliver
this.
looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
It seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect a kid? I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. We never know who to trust in this town.
Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. So it turns out we're both
Beck
here
twirled her
to
hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
destroy the evidence.
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep, the old gal is nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
He sure is. Can't blame her though. If anyone were to find out that we're going to destroy the source, well, we both know how bad that might be. And destroying the source apparently sets off this fucking Ice Age cataclysmic event. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
You're sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Sorry, good, not God. Good, there is one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing, really. The other day I had the radio on scan while restocking the candy shelf. And wouldn't you know it, I intercepted an odd phrase in a Perennial Harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and nowhere to put it. It's gotta mean something, right? I assume to get into the Perennial Harvest building. Good thinking, you should probably go work that out. I've got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
Damn. You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time, Mr. Tolliver's had a candy shell, but all he ever sells us is apples.
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
To be fair, that would be the thing that I'd pick up on as well. Let's be honest. The password, Rolo. Well, sure, but once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine. In the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it
Beck
seems.
marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
We just need to find the hidden meaning. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried, covered. Would it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of those each letter is a number thingy. So you would be 21. N would be 14. E would be... Ooh, it's an anagram. Nuncreed's drugstore. You got that fucking quick, Jesus.
Luca and Beck looked at Rolo with amazement.
Rolo, that was incredible. Well, it's either that or Kren's Nude Rug Store. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. Will you stop it? Fucking cats. To the drugstore. In the middle of the night. That's exactly what children should be. I'm going to ignore her just in case. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You? Had a few more details to lock down for the festival. Also, we'll go until the next chapter, whatever, bit, and then we'll switch over to DVD. Oh, what do you have to report? What is this Insipid Town Festival really about? I would like 12, please.
Gus looked around nervously.
I think Mr. Kerr really does just want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so that you could make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Kerr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. Have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me. This was our father's town. He's gone, heiress, and he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. And an entire town. I'd say he left you with a fair bit, to be honest, sir. Mr. Kerr came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. Oh, so they're the ones doing the toxic dumping. That is just a temporary arrangement. Glow can be seen from our damn backyard. They are dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When this all inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed? What are you doing? You swearing at them?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
Have a new choice to make now, sister. The town is going to change, whether we like it or not. We're going to choose to be a part of that future, or be forgotten in the past. It's a shame. Father named you Augustus, but you will always just be Gus. It fucking rude. Mostly because if that was me in the same situation, it'd be like, you may have been named Richard, but you'll always be a dick. See you at breakfast tomorrow. Getting late, children. Good for fucking you, bitch. You ain't my mother. Wait, what are you reading? Knowledge, he spat with a sneer. There exists a gulf between knowing something and being able to do a damn thing about it. I do hate it when the villain makes a good point. Wait, can we go and raid the candy shelf? Like, just out of curiosity? No. That's a shame. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum. You do? Where are you going? Because I'm nosy, where you going? Huh? Where you going? Fucking rude.
That's the thing if I can get
Okay.
doing homemade shit.
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Ooh, good choice. Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nuncreed. Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. Then where'd you get the candy from? You might say we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising
licorice.
amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life. I'm not sure licorice works there. Though we might not always have family to rely on, licorice has never let me down. I can't say licorice would be my first choice. Whatever floats your boat. Also, with the move of the camera, if you're on the sofa at any point, you are always on camera.
Big cat.
Yes, they'd see it. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. Oh, yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. What is a sour gob? Certain you do. I always wonder why Mr. Nuncreed kept licorice in stock. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's as easy as cold hard cash. For others, it's give me the goddamn sweets. Well, he's right. It's locked. Excuse me. There's got to be more clues. Okay, let's see. We just go down the alley, go around the back. Have you ever seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nuncreed, no.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
That is not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? There's a new drugstore. I mean, underground secrets. The password.
Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
We're just going to the Ministry of Magic, because isn't that how you get into the Ministry of Magic? Alright, let's see
Luca
here.
cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great, now what? Guess we...
The inside
All
of
to
the
our
phone
death.
booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground. The air was stagnant.
Why did my brain
and
instantly
smelled
go, why is there a
vaguely of
laundrette
chlorine.
down here? Those are not washers, those are tubes. Those are tunnels. I knew it! You knew there was a secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Luca, do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the trans-dimensional conduits from Hank Atomic, issue number 12, were real? Rolo, at one point or another, you've said that about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. Looks like each of these has something written on them. Mining Operations Alpha. You guys have mines here? Not that I know of. This town is all farms and fertilizer. And a series of tubes. R always says you can only trust a miner up to the point when they hit gold. Sure. Not sure how that wisdom applies in this exact situation. That's the thing about Pa, you don't always realise what he means until it's too late. See you later. Perennial Harvest main office. That's where my mum works. What does she do? Science stuff. Is she involved in all of this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. Excuse me. Isn't that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube going to the old Valentine place? It's starting to feel like something big. This suit has a broken mask. So, have we found our mystery warehouse creeper? Or you at least found their hazmat suit. It walks like a nun creed and talks like a nun creed. Got a point. Let's not jump to conclusions. I'm just saying. That's a lot of buttons. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hank Atomic to know my way around sci-fi tech.
Rolo's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Buzz. Rolo, what did you do? Nothing. I didn't even mow yet. That means somebody is coming along, or something is coming along. What's that? Hide. Where? There's nothing but weird tubes. Just get back. Is it Grandma? Oh, no, it is Nuncreed. Shit. 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 Awesome! You all need to come with me now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground Secrets. I told them it was an absurd password. But they love anything that makes them feel clever. Who doesn't, to be fair? They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. I don't care about our skins. Hold on now, I like my skin. Alright. This all stops now, Nuncreed.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him. Who? Walt. You do not get to talk about my dad. You know, your father and I were friends back
He
before
gestured toward the strange tubes.
all of this. That's a lie. It's true, I used to bounce you on my knee. Sure, just admit that you should be on a list. That's exactly what you need to do in this situation. What's happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So you were his sidekick? No, we were partners. Which kind? He helped the patients and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Excuse me. Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us. Daisy's got an opportunity. He'd found something he didn't quite understand, and he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. My dad said no. Your father and I both believed in helping people. The thing I can never get him to understand is it's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. To be fair, he's not wrong. Walt loved being righteous, almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing, though. And he begged me not to take Valentine's offer. He said, Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him, till the day is dead and gone.
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, but still got me saying yes. Is there a point to this sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this. Force my hand.
Luca began to laugh.
What? You really don't know? My Gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose. Juniper? Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. Going to disrupt the festival? Why would she...
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
What does she know? Apparently she knows a lot of things. What does she know? What? Let's just say this isn't the only underground lair we've busted into today. And honestly, hers is way cooler. No, it's not. This one has, like, freaking sci-fi buttons, controls, tubes, creepy hazmat suits. All hers has is a couple of tubes of explosive and a corkboard. That's it. He's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Tell me now, she's in danger, boy. Don't know. She had a map with a mark on the fountain in town square. Fountain, but why would...
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
The cat in a box. Weird noises behind me. He knows about the source? What the heck is the source? If she tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze and... Dear God, she's going to freeze us all. You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back. That did not go how I expected. So, we're totally following him, right? Obviously. See you on the other side. You good? Yep. I love this town.
Chapter 8. The Cold, Hard Truth.
We'll go a bit longer. I know I said we'll go to the next chapter start, but we'll do another one.
Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
Wait, why have we come back above ground if we're supposed to be going down into the source? I assume that's what we were doing. That was intense? Yeah. I think I might have parted with some fluids in there. He was ahead of us. If he pissed himself. Huh. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like it got on. Doesn't look like it got on any of us. He's literally starting by and pissing himself, isn't he? Didn't feel like we travelled that far. Where did it all go? He's still talking about it. This place sucks. Why would anyone want to blow something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. Gotta catch up to Nuncreed. I think he went this way. What, not through this fucking hole up here? That's another... That's another gravestone, and this is basically the same as dad's gravestone, just with a bit missing here, tree missing above, and being snowed over. That's interesting. I know, it literally is the same place, because my house would be here, normally. Normally a second area in the middle with the dandelions. This is literally the same, like, area as Luca's house. It even looks like something's missing from here. Kind of creepy. Yep, and there's the entrance to the town. This looks familiar. Maybe we can clear off the snow. In time, Nuncreed's getting away. Well, there's a second town? Wait. Yeah, so there was some said earlier about how they were all moved from the town into hotels, and Perennial Harvest came in and cleared all the shit and fixed some issues, and then they came back. So they didn't. They just moved them and rebuilt the town somewhere else, identically. This is the actual town. Starting to feel really familiar. I may not be the most well-versed on all things Beacon Pines. This does look like some sort of frozen replica of town. I got it. It's so obvious now. Mr. Nuncreed is an alien. Stick with me here. His species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy, here we go. The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. We found it by travelling through those metallic wormholes back there. Final objective, kill us all and shapeshift into a Beacon Pines citizen of their choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. You get used to it. We should keep moving. Oh, hello. Concerning. Yeah, look, there's even the little sign there on the way into the woods, where our treehouse is.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr.
And now it makes sense.
inching cautiously toward a
It
pit
wasn't
at
to
the
the
center.
town square where we know it, it's to this one.
He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild.
No way to talk about my grandmother.
Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed this whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators. Gran, what's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Rollo-Winback held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over that torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
It's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to effect change. Very convenient that your way just happened to line your pockets. Now that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge. Amid a blur of emotions and memories,
So this is the next
Luca's mind
calm
flooded with
moment.
questions. The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
In stillness, he began to weep. I only have one option, which means this is going to be a dead end, and we have to come back and redo it later.
And in
Guaranteed.
the stillness, he began to
Which
weep.
means we'll get to the dead end and then we'll switch over to deeply.
It was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow.
Damn, it really is cold.
Gran stared at Luca for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary.
It'll all make sense soon, Luca. And everything can go back to normal. Promise.
She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed.
Can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalties fall. Juniper, don't.
Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness. She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
You see, Joseph, I've learned one very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, then you must be willing
Before Gran could finish,
to blow
the
shit up.
ground shook her to silence. Gran only had time to spin around and run to Luca. Her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love, pitted against
I'm still
an
convinced she's
unthinking
actually the
horror.
mom.
There was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end. Well,
The end.
that was dire.
A little bit.
On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from. Now, we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
We've still got chill for that. And then we've got full for there and flight for there. So we've got multiple paths we can do, but we will do it another day. Might be tomorrow. We might carry this on tomorrow before we switch to Prey. Do like a couple hours at the start of stream here and there. So I definitely want to finish this, but I'm not sitting through it all now. Can't. My throat's going to give up otherwise. We're done with that. I am going to pop for a quick toilet break, and then we'll start up DBD Killer Times. And if at any point there's anyone that wants Swift, we could switch to Swift, but Swift has been painful, so Survivor has been painful recently. Yeah, but I will be back in a minute. I won't be very long.